Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another lesson for my B1 group. Today's lesson is 2.1 and it's called Fact or Fiction. Before we start, let me tell you what we will talk about today. We're going to talk about the present perfect and the past simple. We're also going to talk about the word form have, and we're going to finish with prepositions. Later on, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 starts off with a speaking activity. It says work in groups and discuss. Can you think of a film you have seen that has taught you about a person or event in history? B. Work in pairs and do the quiz. Decide if the information is fact, fiction, or partly true. Then check your answers on page 158. Letter C says discuss. Do you think it is alright for filmmakers to change the fact of a story? Why or why not? Do you guys agree or do you guys disagree? So I'm going to go ahead and we'll see if I can move this below. Okay, right here. Let me show you the history right here. Now, let's take a look at vocabulary. The vocabulary says type of stories. Look at the type of film stories in the box below. Match the types of stories with the descriptions A through I. So, what you guys have right here are the types of film stories. Don't forget that if you guys are having trouble or you guys don't understand any type of vocabulary, you can go ahead and you can look up the word in the dictionary. Just let you know that you have that tool. Now let's take a look at some of the word. Sorry, that was my dog. Okay, so like I said, those are some of the vocabulary that you have. Just in case you're having trouble, you can look them up at the dictionary. These are your sentences. We're going to go ahead and talk about this later on today in our class, so we'll get back to that. Now let's go back to the top. Letter B. Letter B says, rate the opinion below. What type of film does the writer enjoy and why? So in order to do this exercise, what you have to do is you have to read the short paragraph and tell us, from this reading, what information do you gather about the writer? What type of films does he enjoy? Take a look at C. Letter C says, work in pairs and answer the questions. Question number 1 says, which types of films do you enjoy watching? So this is a personal question. Number 2, can you name films with match each type of stories? Have both of you seen them? Are your opinions about them the same or different? So first, you shared your personal opinion on what type of films that you guys enjoy watching. And on the second one, because we're working on these in pairs, and we're going to do this through our Zoom video calls. Number 2, you have to, like I said, share which movies or which films have you both watched together or you've both seen, and are your opinions about that the same or different? Now let's take a look at number 3. Whoops, okay. So let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says listening. It starts off with 3A. It says listen to the first part of a radio program about films and answer the questions. Letter B says work in pairs and discuss. Look at the photos of actors who have played the roles of famous people in films. How do you think they prepared for the roles? Letter C says listen to the second part of the radio program. Are the sentences true or false? Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 says listen to the whole program and complete the information. So Once you listen, what you guys need to do is you need to fill in the blanks for each sentences to make them true. Now, don't forget that once you're finished and you have double check, you can go and look for the correct answers or check if you are right on the audio script on page 164. Now, let me go to our next page. Now, these are the pictures that or the photos that they mentioned in the previous activities. These are the actors. Now let's take a look at our next page. So we're going to start off with a grammar exercise. Now this is super important because don't forget that any extra information that I mentioned I will have uploaded in our Moodle platform. And this is part of it. This is a review of the present perfect and past simple. It says 5A, read the sentences in exercise 4A and underline examples of the present perfect and past simple. I'm going to go ahead and upload a different video link to have you guys watch and help you remember that you guys have already learned this and what it means, just in case you forgot, okay? Let's take a look at B. It says complete the rules with the present perfect or past simple. So you will complete the rules. I will double check this once we meet on later today. Let's take a look at C. It says look at the sentences in exercise 4A. So you'd have to go back to our previous page again and match them with the rules above. Now take a look at 6. Number 6 says, read the text that changes Chris Garvin's life. You would have to complete the text with the correct form of the verbs in the brackets. Okay, so this is it. Let's take a look at 7. Number 7 says, weak forms of have. Listen to the pair of phrases. Notice the difference. I lived and I've lived. Letter B says listen and write the sentences. Letter C says listen again and check, then listen and repeat. Number 8 says work in pairs. A student A, write have you ever questions using the prompt in the box below. Student B, turn to page 158. So student B would be the one that is answering the questions based on what page 158 says, and your prompts are the ones that you have right here. Now letter B, we're going to skip it for today, and let's go check out our next page. Da-da-da. Now, this is the last page we will do today. We're starting with the speaking activity, and it says number 9, letter A, imagine you're going to make a film about your life. Choose 5 events that you would like to include. Write some notes in the film script. Now, number 9 is also something that I will double check once we meet up later today. So I suggest you write it down, you mark it in some way, so you know that when we catch up today, this is something that we will talk about. Alright, now let's check out our next activity. Alright guys, I'm sorry, excuse me, that's my dog. Now, let's continue with letter B. In letter B, it says take turns and talk about the film of your life. We will do this later on today, like I mentioned. Now, take a look at C. It says, think of 3 questions to ask your partner about the film of their life. Ask and answer the questions. Why did you choose to? What happened when you? What did you enjoy best about? So those are just some example questions that you can ask your classmate based on what they mentioned of their film. Now, don't forget, you need to have this work already done. We're not going to do it in class. Now, let's go and see the top of our page. Okay. Number 10 is also something that you guys are gonna go and check out on our Moodle platform, or else this video would be super long. Number 10 is talking about prepositions with expressions of time. What I'm gonna do is I have an awesome chart I want to go ahead and share with you guys. I'm gonna upload it on the Moodle platform, and I'm gonna show it to you guys once again when we meet up in the afternoon. Okay? It says complete the word webs with expressions in the box. Now, remember what I mentioned last time we saw each other? This is called a word web just because of the dynamic and the way that it looks. It looks like a spider web. That's why it's called word web. Now, this are the expressions of time using prepositions. The words at, in, and on. With the chart that I'm going to upload on the Moodle platform, I'm going to go ahead and share with you when would we use at, in, and the word on. Alright, so I'm going to leave you guys hanging right here, and you're going to have to go check out my Moodle platform to get more information. Now, this little sneak peek is a tip based on what I just mentioned above. It says to help you remember which preposition of time to use, try to memorize this. On Monday, in winter, at that time. Why? Because we use the word on for specific days, in for time periods, and at for specific times. Now let's take a look at 11. Now this is a little bit different. Why? Because we're still talking about prepositions, but now we're talking about prepositions with nouns. It says complete the phrases with the correct preposition on, for, or by. Once again, you guys are going to have to go to my Moodle platform to check out the extra content I will share with you. And number 12 says fixed expressions. Match the fixed expressions in bold in sentence number 1 through 10 with meanings A through J. The first one was already done for you. Letter B says look at exercise 12A again. Write 6 through 8 questions with phrases with prepositions. For example, it says, remember it's based on 6 through 8, so you're doing the other half. Some of them are already done for you. This one is based on number 8. It says, do you usually arrive on time, or are you sometimes late? Now they made this expression into a question. And let's take a look at C, and it's actually the last thing we're going to talk about today. It says work in pairs, take turns to ask and answer questions. So I want to know your ability to make expressions, to turn expressions into questions. So we will talk about this later on today. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys get a chance to see this before class and a chance to do the exercise. Don't forget to go check out our Moodle platform.